Greetings, my name is Michael Cook. I'm an application developer, design artist, and a system engineer. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate a tool that I've been developing that automatically configures Active Directory sites and services in a number of nested child objects. This is going to be a rather short video. I will have a much more in-depth presentation at a future date. However, I wanted to show some progress with how this is working so far. So here's my desktop. I'm going to switch over to my server here, and go ahead and use this cleanup script. Open Active Directory sites and services. I'm going to refresh this. I'm also going to open up sites and services. I meant users and computers and sites and services. As soon as this thing loads up. Why isn't this thing loading? There we go. Okay. Not sure why that took so long. Anyway, these are all the subnets that the tool will be able to craft out, as well as all these sites here. Let me go ahead and oh, okay, it did open. Trying to get some room here. So what this is going to do is it's going to clean up all these objects. I'm going to refresh here. They're all gone. Refresh here. And those are all gone too. This is the main site that I'm currently using, but that's not going to be deleted, as you can see here. Now I'm going to do is I'm going to load this utility. It's going to take a second to load up on here. Normally I would just use this and it would load all of this instantaneously, but I want people to see how much code is in here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and recreate those objects. I'm going to add on several zip codes. Actually, I'm going to remove this, and then it'll populate. So it looks for the site, and if it's not there, it says no. I can go ahead and click new, and it'll create those objects. So as you can see, the verbose output there. You do similar things for these following panels here. Now that right there is the network that I'm using, and I'm going to remove the first one because that's the control network. If I want to look at any of these objects, see a closer, to more closely inspect each of these objects, I can select it and the information populates here. It might be unnecessary actually to have all that, but I'd like to keep it there. Now this is going to create those subnets. Now if I go back into here and I refresh, there they are. So now I'm going to go on to the site map, and these numbers match up. If this number is less than this number, then you'll get an error, but it's not. Now here is the template object where I can choose to create nested objects like gateway, organizational unit, server, computers, user service. So this is essentially for each site. So you can create those sub child item objects. And go ahead and click get. And now this loads the entire tree here. And once I click this, it's going to create all those objects in Active Directory. And now if I go to here and I refresh here, there they are. And go into that, there they are, there too. And just to showcase, it is populating all this information. It's sort of the main idea here. If we go into nested objects, those will have that information as well. There it is. So this information would be useful for applying certificates and using Active Directory certificate services. I'm not going to showcase anything with the certificates at this time, but this is a template that uses that it would use in order to create a certificate for each subdomain, or not a subdomain, each site. Anyway, these are all the gateway objects that I created, and now I'm going to go ahead and click get, and then it tests to see if they exist, and I click new, and now it's going to create those objects as well. So if I go into gateway, there's that one. And if I go into the server, there's nothing there. So I go to the server tab, and I do the same thing here, and I can see all the information there. All this stuff is going to propagate to the domain controllers once they are installed. I'm not going to feature the domain controller and the gateway and domain controller installation in this video, but as you can see, there it is. Just these last few tabs here, I'm going to show what the imaging object does, because it ties in with the Microsoft Deployment Toolkit. I go into the images folder here, and I click scan. It's going to look for ISOs, so I can select that, or I can select Windows 10 x64-bit, and I mount it, and it'll mount. And then each of the WIM files that are inside of the DVD or the ISO, they're going to populate in this list here. And there they are. So I can click that, this, and that, click Q, and then it'll create that. And I can dismount it. And then it'll release. And click that to mount that and perform the same object on a different disk. This won't work for non-Windows disks. At some point, I'll have something that does that, because the gateway objects will utilize OpenSense, which I'm not going to cover today. And then I can mount this, select the server object as well. Select the data center, queue that as well. And I can select the path to extract those WIM files to. And I can click extract. This process takes about 10 minutes, so that's why I'm not going to show that off. But that is not wired up. That's the updates. And then this is the deployment share tool. So I can select that, and it'll populate that that information. And then if I click new, then I can add in a new object here, a new deployment share. And then all of these tabs here, I can add in and one of those Active Directory sites and services, or containers, or users and computers objects, to deploy objects in another site. And as I go through these tabs, I can input an object, a domain administrator account here, so that I can create objects for the computers object, and then it'll deposit any child item objects in this folder. And this is for the post configuration, post install configuration. This is for I still have to figure out how to get this to fit properly, but this is looking for information in the registry, which can be found here. Now there is a badge that shows up in other versions of Windows, and notably the desktop version, but it's not showing up here. And also, at this time, this is not functional, but this will basically, if I click generate, then it'll take the information in these tabs and then it'll input it into a bootstrap file. Same thing with the custom settings. At this time, I'm going to end the video. If you liked what you saw, feel free to leave a thumbs up or a comment. And if you'd like to subscribe, feel free. Take care. Thank you for watching.